That expensive gadget sitting on your desk right now wasn't actually a smart investment. And deep down, you know it. Your brain is currently running a sophisticated background program called post-purchase rationalization to protect you from the painful sting of buyer's remorse. It is essentially an internal PR department that activates the moment a transaction is finalized to preserve your ego. By suppressing negative data about that luxury sedan or overpriced watch, your mind creates a cognitive shield that keeps you broke. We are going to dissect the exact moment your logic fails and your rational actor persona takes over to justify your worst spending habits, because it is time to expose the internal lies keeping you financially stagnant. This mental gymnastics routine is triggered by something psychologists call choice supportive bias. When we make a major purchase, we aren't just buying an object, we are making a statement about our own intelligence and status. If that purchase turns out to be a mistake, it creates the physical discomfort of cognitive dissonance. Our mind views a bad financial decision as a literal threat to our identity. To resolve this tension, the brain retroactively assigns a premium value to mediocre features just to prove we made the right call. We convince ourselves that the leather stitching was worth the $5,000 markup, not because it actually provides value, but because admitting we were overcharged would be too damaging to our self-image. Once you own an object, your brain begins a selective memory rewrite. It starts filtering out negative reviews and performance flaws to maintain your mental peace. This process of positive enhancement is where we inflate the importance of a single minor feature to outweigh dozens of functional drawbacks. You might ignore the fact that your new tech upgrade has a terrible battery life because you've become obsessed with the aesthetic of the titanium frame. The second the return window closes, you stop comparing your purchase to superior alternatives. You stop looking at the data and start looking for justification, effectively shutting down the analytical part of your brain to protect the emotional investment you've already made. The trap becomes even more dangerous when we involve other people through social signaling. The need to project an image of success to our peers forces us to defend our overpriced luxury goods out loud. This often manifests as the expert persona, where we find ourselves lecturing friends and family on the niche benefits of our bad spending just to convince ourselves of our own logic. By publicly advocating for a bad purchase, we lock ourselves into a position where changing our mind would mean losing face. In 2026, social media algorithms reinforce these biases by showing us content that validates our expensive mistakes, creating an echo chamber that drowns out the quiet voice of your bank account. There is a staggering financial cost to these mental gymnastics that goes beyond the initial price tag. This rationalization often leads to lifestyle creep, where one bad purchase justifies a domino effect of irrational spending. If you've bought the luxury car, your brain tells you that you now need the luxury insurance, the luxury detailing, and the luxury wardrobe to match the image. Protecting your ego also prevents you from selling depreciating assets that are actively draining your net worth. You hold on to a failing investment or a money pit of a vehicle because selling it would mean finally admitting the initial decision was a mistake. This habitual rationalization is why many people remain financially stagnant despite having a high income. To break this loop of self-deception, you need to adopt the pre-mortem strategy. Before you finalize any major transaction, force yourself to seek out every potential flaw and visualize the purchase as a total failure. This neutralizes the brain's future defense mechanisms by letting you sit with the sting before the money is gone. You must develop a framework for radical financial honesty that separates your self-worth from the items you choose to consume. Remember that a smart person can make a dumb purchase. The intelligence lies in the ability to recognize it and pivot quickly, rather than spending years defending a ghost. Finally, implement a mandatory 24-hour cooling-off ritual for any purchase over a specific threshold. This delay is designed to trigger your analytical brain before the emotional shield has a chance to lock in. It allows the initial dopamine spike of the new thing to fade, giving your prefrontal cortex time to run the actual math. The wealthiest people are those who have the courage to be wrong about a purchase today so they can be right about their net worth tomorrow. Step out of the rationality trap, stop the mental gymnastics, and start managing your wealth with the cold, objective eyes of an architect. Your future self doesn't care about your ego. They only care about the freedom your honesty bought them.